Hi there. I'm here today with Kaitlyn Jankowski from Charity Water. Hey, Kaitlyn.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
I'm excited as well.
I know Charity Water is definitely a beloved company, and I'm really excited to talk about experience design over there. I think most people are familiar with Charity Water and the amazing work that you guys are doing. But for the people that maybe aren't as familiar, can you share a little about the Charity Water experience?
Sure. So, Charity Water is a nonprofit organization bringing clean and safe drinking water to people in developing countries. And we operate on a model that's a little bit different. We send 100% of all public donations directly to fund clean water projects in the field. And the way that we can do that is we have a group of private donors who kind of fund all of our overhead. So, everything from staff salaries to the flights to the field to the ink that's in our printer. And then we also approve every dollar. So, we have an online fundraising platform called My Charity Water and the ability for people to start their own fundraising campaigns, which is what I work on. And whether you raise $20 or $20,000, once the campaign is closed and we send the funds to the field, within 18 months we prove the exact project that we sent your money to with GPS coordinates, photos, and community information.
Great. Yeah. So you touched upon it a little bit. I know you're a supporter experience manager over there. What exactly does that entail?
A lot. We Charity Water is growing really quickly, but we still all kind of wear a lot of different hats. Sometimes people think of Charity Water a little bit like a tech startup. And so the supporter experience manager, my job, my day to day is different every day, but I oversee a team that is really looking at the experiences that our supporters are having, whether that's someone who's fundraising through our online fundraising platform or someone who can just sponsor a project, or people who come into the office and want to see the space. I oversee that team. So that's anything from fixing bugs, making feature kind of requests within our product, which is our online fundraising platform, to I have an individual on the team who actually ships all the emails with the GPS coordinates and the photos when the projects have been completed. So closing the loop with our supporters that way. And then on the other side, I kind of straddle a little bit of working directly with those campaigners online. So whether it's a little girl who has a lemonade stand and is raising money for us, or some type of an influencer who could maybe be a C-suite executive or a professional athlete, and they start a fundraising campaign online. I work on the strategy there to make them super successful, and give them the tools that they need.
hmm Yeah. So kind of going back to what you just said, it sounds like you guys have a lot of different ways that people can run campaigns with Charity Water. Can you talk about how those work and what different kinds of campaigns you guys support?
Yeah, so my charity water was designed for pretty much anyone to get involved, and I get super excited and passionate about it because we see some crazy things. Right now we have campaigns where a new baby is born and they start a zero birthday campaign. We have people who have walked across America, jumped out of airplanes, given up wedding gifts, run marathons. They've done really incredible, crazy things for us. We had a girl a couple of years ago swim naked. And it's just the way that we built the online experience was for anyone to take what they were passionate about and use it for a way to help us fight the water crisis. So it's a lot of fun. We see new stories and new fundraising campaigns every day. The coolest thing about my charity water is that it's no longer our story, it's their story, and they're using their story to bring clean water to people who don't have it.
That's great. Yeah, and it sounds like you guys have a really diverse range of supporters. What are these people like? What's kind of the background of the people that are supporting Charity Water?
It is a really diverse background, which also makes it that much more fun every day. It's really interesting because Charity Water really started with a birthday. We were founded in 2006. We're about to celebrate our 8th birthday. And it started by our CEO, who was a former nightclub promoter, throwing himself a huge birthday party and inviting 700 of his closest friends and charging them $31 at the door, and he took that money and he raised 15 grand that night, and he built wells in Uganda and did some rehabs there. And a lot of our model is foundational from that one kind of big birthday party. And so we've run a couple of campaigns around the birthday project or the birthday movement. And we've had about 40,000 people start campaigns on our platform. 50% of them usually are birthdays, where people are, giving up birthday gifts. Instead of getting gifts, they're asking people to give clean water instead, and it's usually they're asking for their age in dollars. So we have a really big segment of people running birthday campaigns, but then the other 50% are kind of those innovative, fun, kind of crazy campaigns sometimes, whether it is a lemonade stand or we have schools that fundraise for us. We have kind of groups. We've had book clubs run fundraising campaigns. So the demographic of people that fundraise is really large. It's anything from children to, I think last year, our oldest birthday campaign was a 79-year-old who was doing a birthday campaign for us. So the ways in which people get involved and the demographic it's really different.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you guys obviously you're delivering delight in the form of water to the people that are getting it, and that's fantastic. How are you thinking about delight for the people that are running these types of campaigns and supporting Charity Water?
A lot of it has to do with the experience. I mean, all of it has to do with the experience, from the time that they create their campaign online to when they have a personal touch point within the organization. And that's something that we think a lot about. All of our creative is done in-house. Everything from web design to print design to the videos that we shoot and edit are done by an in-house videographer. And we're constantly thinking about, well, what is the content we're producing and who are we producing it for that could resonate with the story. And our model here at Charity Water is that we want to inspire people to give. So a lot of the stories that we're telling is this is what happens to a community after they get clean water, or this is the impact that you could have if you get involved with us. And it's that inspiration piece, inspiring people to take action. When we think about delight, it starts from that very moment. We just launched our September campaign, which we launch every year, and it starts with that story piece. And how are we going to tell that story and give our supporters a really awesome experience when they land on the website and they can view the video, and then what's the next step? It's been cool too to see even our tech and our product teams have worked around creating an awesome experience just to create a campaign. How many steps are we going to have? How many buttons do they have to click? How do we make it really easy for them to start a campaign? And then once they start a campaign, they get put into an email program, and we think about that email program in terms of what are the emails that we're sending them? How do we give them tips and tricks to be super successful so that they feel awesome at the end of the day? And then my team really focuses on that human element and that personalization. So if they reach out to us, whether it's through a support handle or they're emailing us, we always personally respond. We look at every single email that comes in, and my team works to email them back. And sometimes there's great relationships that are formed, and we kind of get to walk together throughout their entire campaigning experience and process. And then, we close the loop at the end of the day. So it takes us 18 months, which is a year and a half, which is kind of long, but they get email updates along the way. And then once the project has been completed, we give them the GPS coordinates, the photos, the community information, all of those things to really close the loop. So we're thinking about how we communicate and delight our customers from the second we produce a campaign and it goes out to the masses to once they actually kind of enter the funnel and they start a fundraising campaign or they somehow get involved, even if that's volunteering. And we're thinking about, what are the experiences that they have throughout every point in the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back to personalization, it's something that we've seen come up a lot with our other sessions at Delight, and also just overall in digital experiences and offline experiences that people are creating. And knowing that you guys have such a diverse range of supporters and different experiences that you're supporting, what kinds of challenges do you guys come up against in supporting that?
I think, personalization is so important to us as an organization, and sometimes we create content just to say thank you to supporters, where we're trying this personal element in the digital space. And it's hard when you're so digitally driven to remember that, like, sometimes a handwritten note goes a really long way because it's something that people aren't used to getting anymore. But then you think about scale and you say, well, we have this many thousands of supporters today. Next year, we're going to double it. And is it possible to scale that type of personalization? So a lot of what I think about, my team thinks about, is how do we scale that digitally, and what does that look like? So, for example, we made a conscious decision, even from a support side, that at least for right now, we don't have a Charity Water support Twitter handle. We'll look at our tweet deck all day long. Our CEO does too. Someone will tweet a question at us and I respond, or our CEO will respond. Someone personally responds and they immediately get a direct connection to someone within the organization. And then they can email us or they can tweet back and forth with us and we'll answer their questions or we'll brainstorm with them, any of those things. So it's little things like that that we're thinking about. We leverage our volunteers really well too. I mean, our volunteers really help make personalization possible. As we continue to grow and our supporter base also grows, they come in and really help us think of new innovative things and actually execute on them. So we do send a lot of handwritten notes. We don't do any direct mail marketing. The only time you get something in the mail from us is, if we're sending you your completion report physically in the mail or you're getting a handwritten note. And so we try to keep those experiences or, focus a lot around delight. We think a lot about it. And even, from a support standpoint, the fact that we personally answer every single question that comes in is something that's really important to me, and it's something that I want to continue to foster throughout my team, even as we grow, that we should have some personal touch point with all of our supporters.
Sure, yeah. I imagine the level of storytelling and personalized outreach that you guys are maintaining. Obviously, there's a challenging aspect to it, but also I imagine it opens up a lot of unique opportunities that kind of set Charity Water apart from other nonprofits out there. What other differentiators do you think kind of set Charity Water at the forefront, I guess, of delightful experiences in nonprofits?
I think I touched on it a little bit earlier. I mean, it's one of my favorite values that we have as an organization is that we want to inspire people to take action. And when we're thinking about telling stories, it's always, what is that inspiration piece? What is that element that's going to get people excited? And we tell a lot of stories from the field. I mean, we wish that we could take every single one of our supporters to the field and actually see the work on the ground, to meet the people, to see the projects, but it's not possible. So our creative team thinks about all the time, how close can we get them? How can we tell this story, and how can they feel the way that we felt when we were there, physically shooting the story? So that's something that we focus on a lot from the personalization standpoint. And it's something that I don't think will change as we grow. It's fundamental to who we are as an organization, is really connecting people as best we can to the work that they're supporting, because without their support, we couldn't do our work that we do every day. And so the completion reports that we send when projects are done are really important to us as an organization. I mean, we plot all those points on Google Maps. So we have, if you go to our website and you look at our completed projects, you could type in a keyword and you could see all the projects we funded and who was behind them. And that's a lot of how we continue to think about our work and the personalization behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that connecting those stories and really making them real and tangible for people is a lot of what makes the experience so meaningful to the people that are involved with Charity Water, and which is very appropriate because you're in the marketing with Meeting Huddle with Kate O'Neill. What do you hope that attendees can take away from your huddle?
A lot of things. Kate O'Neill's awesome, and we had a phone call earlier this week, and I'm so excited to kind of be doing this huddle with her because she has so many really great ideas around segmenting your audience and figuring out who is your audience and who are you creating content for. It's something we think a lot about at Charity Water, especially when we're producing a new campaign. Our audience has to want to engage with the campaign that we're producing. And so we take a lot of time to think about that and the story that we're telling and the calls to action that we have. So I think that we're going to focus a lot on that, around kind of segmenting and targeting your audience. And once you figure out who the segments are, what type of media are you going to put in front of them that they're going to either want to share or they're going to want to consume? Is it written? Is it visual? Is it a video? Is it something like that? So we want people to learn how important segmenting, I think, and targeting your audience is from the huddle.
Sure, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really jam-packed 90 minutes, but I'm really excited to see what comes of it. What are you looking forward to about the conference?
A lot of things. I think there's a ton for us to learn. You know, Charity Water, when we think about the work that we do every day, we continually want to be innovative and try new things. So for me to come, to come to Portland, which I'm very excited about. I love Portland. But also to learn a lot of new stuff and be able to bring it back to the team here and say, here's what this organization is doing or this company is doing. Is there a way that that could translate to the nonprofit sector? Could we do something really cool and really fun and innovative here? And for Charity Water, we don't have an ad and marketing budget at all. We operate on a $0 ad and marketing budget. We use social media as a way to launch our campaigns a lot. We think about our email marketing program really heavily. And so I'm excited to think and hear from other people about what they're doing and hopefully translate some of that back here at Charity Water.
Absolutely. I think that we've got a really diverse range of speakers this year, across the for-profit and nonprofit and B2B and B2C. I think there's plenty to glean from that, and we're definitely really excited to welcome you back to Portland.
Thanks. I can't wait.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Kaitlyn. It was great to chat with you, and we'll talk soon.
Great. Thank you.